when you're a guest so hype, you're in a fighting game twice.
Would Spyro's physiology actually allow him to glide with this level of efficiency?
Alright, let's analyze this son of a bitch. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Brian, and today we have Spawn. He just had his trailer drop about 15 minutes ago, and I am going to analyze the hell out of it. 60 frames per second, all ready to go. The footage will not be 60 frames per second just because it's easier to render that way. But I will assure you that it will be 60 frames as I'm watching this, so I can give you approximate frame data. Because, you know, these could always change before launch. But without further ado, let's check it out. So first off, we start with probably the most badass intro I have ever seen in Mortal Kombat. That is just so next level awesome. And then we get Keith David.
Together, we can purge the 10 hells.
Only if you follow my lead.
All due respect, that's not in the cards.
Keith David makes Spawn work so good. I just rewatched some of the things with Spawn regarding the animated series that they did for HBO, and I would have that guy threaten me for money. Like, legitimately, the way he says things, like, what made you God, little man? Not that gun. Not that badge, nothing. That sort of thing. Super cool. But enough hype. Lego.
Fight!
Looks so good in this game. So first off, we get a cape. Very first thing we see is use of the cape. The last time he was a guest character, Spawn did not have his cape. It became his axe, because this is for Soul Calibur 2 on the original Xbox that he made his guest appearance. Now with advanced technology and NetherRealm's artistry, we get a cape. Used in combat, transitioned into chains. People were worried that the chains wouldn't be a thing because we saw the sword. Chains are here, and then some. And they do a quick pitch right there. Back into the body. Anti-air machine gun, so the machine gun is back. Not a combo starter, but it's a good way to get him off you from the air. Block this, go into throw. Notice that I don't know if it's just because of the nature of the animation or what have you, but Spawn immediately switches sides. So he plunges, then teleports, yanks the chain out of you, and then blasts you back. That's his back throw. I wonder if the back version of this hasn't been finished yet, or if it's just a quirk with his throw. Duck under the teleport, and then punished with one heck of a slow ender. Like, the chains wrap around his arm, and then he slugs you, which, by the way, this also is a good indication of Spawn's size, if you kind of just go back. Like, that's him next to Scorpion, right there, and he's big. He's a big boy, so I'd like to see him next to Shao Kahn. That wouldn't have hit anyway, but the first thing you see is actually a different Spawn skin. I'm not that well versed in Spawn. I do apologize for that, but I feel like this is supposed to be like Gunslinger Spawn or something, and because of the bandana and all of the holsters and bandoliers and bullets and things. So what a perfect thing for Aaron Black than this skin for Spawn. So he doesn't have to short hop, but it shows his short hop range. And then he has a chain starter that starts, that's about its range. That's a really solid, probably a standing 2. into, that's probably a 2-2, so stab, stab, and then cancel into spike charge, which then amplifies into weapons that launch, into air poke, and then that's a special move right there. That was a special move cancel. He jab, and then watch, he cancels it into neutral, then goes for the let me rip your skin off of you, then amplifies it to burn you again into a unique animation. Bless me. So this is what that looks like in normal motion for those who didn't watch the trailer yet. That looks like it hurt. And now we're this is another Spawn skin. I just can't quite place it. Is it was it classic? I think this is the one from Spawn 300 though, if I had to hazard a guess. And we're against what I have to guess is supposed to be Conan Kotal. This seems to be the theme with the skins here, but no Jackie, surprisingly. But we're not there yet. So he summons... Is that the enemy? Because it's got the same hair as Kotal. He's just a demon. Does he summon versions of yourself to slap at you? I don't know, but that's pretty fucking cool. And then, boom, we get a club. So we get a club string. And then this is what first caught my attention for reals. He has a glide, which this is unique for Mortal Kombat. No, that's a lie. Sindel and Raiden have a similar sort of glide thing, but this is the best glide objectively because look, he's going over the Yeye Kame disc, and then canceling into an air normal to get a string launch and knock him down. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting because he's doing so cape, and then I don't know if that is a special. No, it looks like it's part of a string that he does it, or maybe it's just so smooth that I didn't see it. But either way, it's stab into fireball, and then he amplifies it into another fireball to knock him back. Yeah, it is a different Spawn skin from Scorpion. Duck under, and then he intentionally whiffs this, except I don't know if it actually has a hit here, but the chain he rips out of the ground sure does. And then he does that string again, but the big windup leads me to believe that this would be an easy punish. That's interesting. Is that a true unblockable? Like, is it a throw? Like, is it classed as like an actual throw? Because if it is, then that's something you got to watch out for at all times, folks. And then he hangs you there, is invisible, breaks your neck, and chucks you down. And now this is what's actually unique about Spawn. No other character in Mortal Kombat 11 has the ability to turn invisible. None of them. Nobody has this ability. And this is going to be early in, this is going to be disgusting because you won't be able to see what he's doing, and you just got to hope for the best or start swinging because... See, he intentionally canceled the string to go in for his forward throw, where he slams his axe into your shoulder. Part of his cape turns into the sword from the figure, from the from the Todd McFarlane figure, stabs you again, and then he hits you with a club. Guy is fucking Ares from from Injustice 1 with his weapons. That was a parry. Looks like it's a down implement, and it parried a low, which is not a common sort of thing for parries to do. So I wonder if that's intentional or if that's like Brainiac, where with his tendril shell ability, he can block anything except for projectiles and jumping attacks. And then he parries it into a gun sweep, and then amplifies it and goes akimbo. Lots of hits. And then he's got... That's a stance. That's right. I forgot. I thought it was a parry, but no, it's actually a stance. And he goes into a launcher. Does cape into electroplasmic claw. Here comes... I think this is the same stance from before, but just from a different angle. Yeah, I think it is, because if you look, he's kind of hunched over like this, and if you look closely, you can see chains up and then chains down, and then he goes up. And then from the other side, we see... Oops. Hit the wrong arrow key there. Sorry. Yeah, so we see what the stance is neutral looks like, and you can see here, the cape is down, these spikes are down, these spikes wrap around the arm. This is the same stance, just seen from a different angle. And we get what looks to be the ender, where this misses, and this hits through the leg, gets amplified, to go through the back, and then an explosion for more damage. Okay, this is a buff of some kind. He amplifies it. It may be one of those moves that requires Bar to use, like Kung Lao's Orbiting Hat, but I'm not 100% sure. But he activates this, his eyes glow, he charges up. I don't know if this is ectoplasm armor or if it's a property of the attack that he gains from this, but he then winds up and smashes you, slamming you to the ground hard part. Let's see. So, a poke into... Okay, so that chain smash does have a hit at the start. And he would have pulled the chain back for a second hit, but amplified it for a blow-up. That is a weird thing. Does Spawn have a dive kick? He totally does! He has a dive kick, but the hitbox is on his cape, not on his foot. Or it is on his foot, and then you have all of this to worry about. Yikes. A sweet boot string with the cape. Another buff. This one was not amplified, so I believe this may actually be just the regular version of the buff we saw earlier. And then he goes into Fatal Blow. Why you would buff for Fatal Blow is really strange, because most of the time, any sort of buff that you use, Kotal's Totems or Scarlet's Red Rain or what have you, Shao Kahn's taunts, they go away on Fatal Blow. However, why you would buff this is curious. I wonder if this is a hint that Spawn's buffs go through Fatal Blow. Or, because this character isn't crazy enough, what if the buff lets him use Fatal Blow at any time during the match? However, it burns up his Fatal Blow cost for the entire match, instead of having to wait for 30%. That's what this buff does. I don't think that's very likely, but, I mean, weirder crap has happened, so... whoops. Nope, we're still good. On to Fatal Blow. I forgot. Okay, so... this is stupid. So... all of the guns, just all of the guns, and then he fucking unloads. This is excessive, but, I mean, that is Spawn's whole deal, right? He is the epitome of edgy, just, over-the-top, unnecessary overkill. Like, what? This goes through the eye, he's hit, cape's gone, and then in comes these hands, which... these hands strike me as the Violator's hands when he's in his demon form, or it could just be a traditional demon, whatever. But pins you down, and then rips. Ouch. That is painful. And then impales you with the chain and smashes you down. But it looks like it puts you at almost full screen. Okay, and then we get Fatality. This is... so, the chains wrap around, causing blood because they're cutting into his skin, break his arm again, rip open, leaving him skinned alive, except for the head. This is a cool action shot. Just, I am going to kill you. Drops you in the cake, burns up your flesh, and leaves you nothing but a skeleton. Fatality.
Spawn wins.
And then, this outro. This is what I do now. Say hello to Malabulja, Spawn's supposed master. This is the guy that gave Spawn his symbiotic suit and his cape and all of the things he needs to bring about Armageddon. This is supposed to be his boss. And Spawn inevitably says, fuck that. That is a sick outro. And now we get to the stuff that now we get to the rest of the stuff. There's nothing too crazy here. Spawn, next Sunday for sure, St. Patrick's Day. The matinee skin pack. So this is movie stuff. I haven't... Okay, so a lot of people are saying that this is Indiana Jones, Aaron Black. And if that's what we're doing like 90s movies, then obviously this is Conan Kotal. And I have no idea what this Jackie skin is. But I do know what this Jackie skin is. They turned her into Spawn. Which some people were looking at this and going, why? Well, funny story. There is now a she-Spawn in the comics. There was one named Nyx in the mid-2000s, but there's another she-Spawn as of November last year in Spawn number 302. I believe the woman's name who becomes Spawn is Jessica Priest. And this must be what it is for, because otherwise this is so funny. As I said at the top of the video, name me another guest character that is in the same game twice. You can have a mirror match without having a mirror match. And it is just something so damn funny. So that is my analysis for Spawn. I would love to know what you guys think about Spawn. If you guys were hyped for this character, if you guys are not hyped for this character, what sort of things you want. This week, I am going to be making a Combat Pack 2 wish list type thing, but with a couple of different rules because I feel like rules can make things more interesting. Don't forget to be awesome, folks, and I'll see you on the other side.
Do the hand motion. Awesome.